Well, as I mentioned earlier, the late Bill Collins graced the Australian sporting media for more than 4 decades. He was a great man, a wonderful race caller, and a great Australian.
Now the horses are moving into the stalls. 3 lengths in front now.
Tonight, the end of an era with the loss of one of our greatest race callers, Bill Collins.
And Bone Crusher races into equine immortality.
Tributes flow for the man they called the Accurate One. Good evening. Also tonight, fears for a toddler missing after being left home alone, and Sunset Boulevard's final bow. But first, Australia's gentleman race caller, the man they called the Accurate One, Bill Collins, has died. The 69-year-old lost his battle with lung cancer, passing away peacefully with his family at his bedside.
The king of the racing industry may have gone, but the spirit of Bill Collins still dominated Moonee Valley. Flags flew at half-mast and jockeys wore black armbands.
Bill was an icon in our industry and a true giver to people in all walks of life.
After a long battle with lung cancer, the 69-year-old died in hospital early yesterday.
I've lost truly a great friend and a man that has done just so much for racing.
He was the voice of Australian racing, the voice of the Melbourne Cup, and an inspiration for so many who followed in his footsteps.
He was the best race caller this country's ever produced, and of course that made him the best in the world. He was the accurate one.
But Bill Collins' legacy has touched much more than just the racing industry. He was an entertainer, a pioneer in Australian television who made his battle with cancer public to give heart to those who were suffering in silence.
So that they can associate themselves perhaps with that person and make life a little bit easier and know that they're not on their own.
Bill will be fondly remembered by everybody who knew him, and his contribution to the art of broadcasting was immense.
He's left a lot of people with great memories, and that's the most important thing about Bill. He was a great man. I loved him very much.
He is survived by his wife Robin, 3 children and 4 grandchildren. Mike Amor, 7 Nightly News.
Along with his legendary knack for picking a winner, Bill Collins captured the hearts of television audiences through his years of work here on Channel 7. This tribute from David Johnston.
Come with me to the races. Come with me to see the Melbourne Cup.
Bill Collins was a remarkable person, arguably the best race caller in Australia at a time when Australians were the best race callers in the world.
Light fingers goes to Zima. They hit the line locked together. Dead heat. A dead heat in the Melbourne Cup.
Well, I like to think that I can probably pick a close finish still.
Known as the Accurate One, he amazed radio audiences in Britain and the US who'd never heard anything like it. But his talents extended beyond the racecourse. He was a pioneer of many early television variety shows, Sunny Side Up, 7 Club, Penthouse Club, and of course, World of Sport.
You've got to be a football hero to earn the cheers of the barricade crowd.
Didn't you go to school? Oh, yes, but I was no good at spelling at school.
Why not?
Oh, well, the teacher kept changing the words all the time.
Oh, yeah. Well, get me a good reason. For I hate you so.
What's my name?
Dirty boy.
But his first love was racing. He was born in Trafalgar in Gippsland, went to Moe State School, where on the way home he would practice calling bits of paper floating down the gutter. He called his first Melbourne Cup in 1954, and for 34 years, his was the voice that stopped a nation.
Is rising fast, going after him at every stride. Candy Star behind them, and then coming home well Commodore. Rising fast has hit the front from Gay Helios at the furlong post. Teleon coming from the clouds on the outside. Rising fast is too far in front, however, and in the run of the post, Rising fast going to win the Melbourne Cup.
Remarkable year. What a wonderful year to start. 1954, he won the Caulfield Cup, the Cox Plate and the Melbourne Cup, plus a couple of weight for age races in between, you know.
100 out.
Bone Crusher, our Waverley Star, stride for stride, nothing in it. Our Waverley Star, the round, Bone Crusher the outside, and Bone Crusher races into equine immortality.
When news of his illness became public, it was the racing world that honoured him in a rare tribute before the running of the 1996 Cox Plate.
I think that the English horse, Oscar Schwartz, is it? Swindler. Swindler. Close, Bill, yeah. I knew it was Irish. Come around the camera, Bill. Get around to the camera. There we go.
Bill's other great love was the South Melbourne Footy Club, and was happy to live long enough to see them play in the 96 Grand Final.
You've got to make up your mind one way or the other, you know, whether you're going to be morbid about the whole bloody thing or whether you're going to say, well, that's life. And I think you've just got to say that's life. I think that's the attitude we've all got to take.
Racing. Caught them pretty well. English Wonder dropped out.